So that's important to point out, right? As I'm already tripping over my own projections and rankings here. I also want to take into account here just how booty some of these games are going to be, because one of the things that was coming up is I'm doing my own college football playoff projections. You could do college football playoff projections based on almost anybody's rankings. All you got to do is make sure you got your 4 highest conference champions and then seed them according to who you think are the best teams from 5 to 12. Does Notre Dame fit in there? That's an interesting question, right? As my man Daniel pointed out, if you're Notre Dame, you're always sitting pretty in a 12-team playoff because you know you're getting a home game, because the highest you could be ranked is number 5, right? Would we send Notre Dame on the road? I sure as hell hope we would, because I hate that Notre Dame does not have to play a conference championship. And this year, they're the only Power 4 team that doesn't play 9 Power 4 opponents. They'll play 8. And they probably won't play another ranked opponent all year because Florida State is cheeks, not unlike Michigan. Matter of fact, that's the game that I would like to see right now. I would like to see Michigan and Florida State play. 2 places that ain't got no quarterbacks whatsoever. I think as we're talking through this, hold on. Yeah, I think as we're talking through this, my mama called me. I'm going to call my mama back. I'm not going to put my mama on blast right now. I think as we're talking through this, I would really like to see Michigan play Florida State because, well, Brock Glenn versus Alex Orji feels like a fair fight, right? Feels absolutely like a fair fight. Meanwhile, I would also very much like to see BYU versus Clemson, mostly because I think Clemson would love the opportunity to prove to you that they are still a good football team, because Clemson has won two national championships in the college football playoff era, and BYU is a team that we haven't really believed in like this since Zach Wilson was playing quarterback there. This is also, when you got Retzloff doing what he's doing, I got to really look at Keaton Slovis and ask, dog, what is it that you do here, right? Among other things. And as I'm going down the list and I'm looking at these matchups, maybe we get Penn State, Tennessee. Maybe we get Georgia, Oklahoma. Georgia, Oklahoma feels like it could be cool because it's a rematch of the 2018 Rose Bowl, but that's not Lincoln Riley. We'll see, right? And I guess the point to all of this is that there's no Alabama in these college football playoff projections. Because there's no Alabama in these college football playoff projections, I'm sure that there are people that are watching this going, how could you not have Alabama in the college football playoff? They could still get there, right? They went out. They win the SEC championship. They're going to be one of the 4 highest ranked conference champions in the sport. We know all of that. But I can't, in good conscience, put Alabama inside of this 12-team playoff when you lost 40-35 to Vanderbilt. Can't do it. Especially when we still got undefeated teams. And we got teams with better losses than Vanderbilt. Like, Vanderbilt has really upset the apple cart on all of this because you either have to do one of two things. You have to say Vanderbilt is good. I'm not sure that there's enough people that want to say that Vanderbilt is good. You'd say Vanderbilt is not bad, but you would not say that they are good. And then you have to look at some of the losses that some of the other programs have taken, like Oklahoma to Tennessee, and say, is Tennessee still good, right? Because I think the Arkansas team that beat Tennessee is a better football team, a good football team, if you will, compared to Vanderbilt. For one, they have a winning record, right? There's that. Arkansas's loss to Oklahoma State is one thing, right? I get it. I understand. Their loss to Texas A&M looks even better now because Texas A&M unseated an undefeated Missouri. Missouri's loss to A&M still looks better than Alabama's loss to Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? The only one of these one-loss teams that I think you would have an argument with is Notre Dame, and I didn't put them in the 12-team playoff because I believe that Alabama and Notre Dame are both the same caliber of football team right now. Losing to Vanderbilt is as good as losing to Northern Illinois, if not worse, because Northern Illinois was at least ranked in the AP Top 25 the following week after they unseated Notre Dame on the road. We didn't do that with Vanderbilt because we can't do that with Vanderbilt because it's Vanderbilt. Get what I'm saying? Now, if you want to tell me that you think that Vanderbilt is good, by all means, stand on that limb. And I'll be curious to find out whether or not you're still on it when it breaks, because I just don't see that. They're better than they have been, but that does not make them good, right? It just does not make them the doormat in the SEC anymore, which is an accomplishment for Vanderbilt, not for anybody else. And I can keep going down the line here, right? Would you put an Alabama in with the one loss to Vanderbilt over an undefeated Indiana? No, you would not. And Indiana is not in this college football playoff, right? I keep going here. Navy, Army, are they a better team than Alabama? Probably not if you're taking your eye test, but they are undefeated. And that is where we also get back into the space what we were in with Florida State last year. Do we want to be the sport that is telling teams, players, parents, everybody associated with the university that you're not good enough to play in the college football playoff even if you're undefeated because the roster doesn't look good, because the team on the field doesn't look as formidable as the one that Alabama fields? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person in this industry. I don't want the games to not matter. I believe that winning has to matter. We're moving the goalpost on this thing all the time because as much as y'all seem to care about blue bloods versus not, when it's your blue blood, you think they should be in. And I get that. I just want you to say it out loud. Don't be a coward about it, right? Come out and say, I would rather see a 2-loss Ohio State in the college football playoff than an undefeated Army, okay? And then be prepared to pull that opinion out and have people lambaste you for it because you are removing the one thing that is absolutely sacred about sports, the scoreboard. The scoreboard has to matter. If the scoreboard does not matter, we need to stop playing football games. Full stop. We need to stop. If we are not going to look at one tally being higher than the other and call that a winner and say that that is the way in which we are going to have our meritocracy, we need to stop because this is asinine, right? We're becoming a pageant contest, and I don't want that. I believe that there are better football teams, but I also believe that those football teams can get their asses beat, which is what Vanderbilt did to Alabama. And as much as Alabama fans hate it, Vanderbilt provided the kind of belief and faith in college football that we needed. We needed to know that a Vanderbilt is capable, right? We needed to see that because we watched Cincinnati get beat down by Alabama in the college football playoff. You've got Central Florida coming out here saying, hey, look, we're the 2017 national champs. We don't care what you say. I think we need that. I think we need that because not everybody's going to be Bama. Not everybody's going to be Ohio State. Not everybody's going to be Georgia. Not everybody's going to be Clemson. Not everybody's going to feel as if they're going to have an opportunity to win a national championship every single year. Sometimes you just get lucky that one year, and we need to honor that. We need to honor that. So if we get into the space 5 to 12, where you got to put in, say, an Indiana that lost to Nebraska, or Nebraska that lost to Colorado, over an Alabama that lost to Vanderbilt, that's what you have to do. That's what the sport demands. Otherwise, you're begging people to question your integrity every step of the way. And the only thing that I have in this game is my authenticity and my integrity. And I'm not going to cheapen that by saying I would much rather see a better ball game with Alabama playing whomever than see Army or Indiana or anybody else that earned that opportunity get into that game. I think that is most important, right? So as we're getting into this, and I talked about there no Alabama in my college football playoff projection,